Welcome.
Oh.
Welcome to Dude That's Fucked Up. I'm Erin.
I'm Nicole.
Guys, guess what?
Oh, it's our anniversary.
It's our anniversary. Is that Tony?
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that song.
It's our anniversary.
Love Tony. Oh,
Me too.
What a throwback.
None of them were named Tony, though, come to find out.
I know. And like Tony with the E, like that's not real. It's
that's tone.
But with an accent aigu over maybe.
Oh, Tone.
Tone.
Yeah.
Tony.
Good band.
What a time. Great band.
Yeah.
Great group. Well, yeah, it's our anniversary.
Yeah.
Glad you guys could join us on our year anniversary extravaganza episode. It's very exciting. Let's see. Well, we got some stuff to talk about.
Yeah.
Before we get to the meat of it, but yeah, we have a website. In case you guys didn't know, we talk about it every single episode. It's DTFUpodcast.com. You can see all the stuff on there. There's a shop where you can shop in to buy a t-shirt or a sticker if you'd like. We got the merch.
I wore my t-shirt yesterday on my flight back from Juneau, Alaska to Los Angeles.
Aha.
But then I realized, because, it's a promotional material.
Yeah.
But then I realized I had my coats, zipped up the whole time, so no one saw it. So it was a fucking waste of time. I could have just worn it today. Instead, it's all, sweaty with, plain smells on it. I have to wash it.
Yeah. DJ put his on today, and it made me happy. It was so nice. Yeah, I was like, oh, that's a nice shirt. It's so soft. It's a good shirt.
It's a really good shirt, yeah. Premium quality.
Yeah, I mean, if you are going to be on a flight, that is the shirt that you want to wear, I think. So it's not a waste.
I have another shirt that I got recently that's very scratchy. And it's just a t-shirt. I'm like, well, how is this so disgusting? It's not even actual cotton fibers. It's some other type of fiber.
It's not even cotton. How dare it? How dare it not be cotton?
This shirt says it's cotton, but I would beg to differ.
The thread count of this shirt is garbage.
It's 1.
It's 1.
It's -1.
Gross. Don't buy that shit. Buy our shirts instead.
Yeah, buy our shirts. Wear one every day of the week. You can have multiples.
Yeah. So check that out. Also, we have a Patreon that you can check out if you want to. We have bonus content on there that if you become a patron of the pod, you can have access to. It's really fun.
You know what? I think in lieu of our anniversary, let's give everyone access to a bonus episode we've recorded.
Yeah, I think we should.
A trial.
Yeah.
We're going to do it.
So you could see what kind of content we have on there. Because, what do you care if you, you're like, oh, cool, good, whatever. Yeah. But we actually, record every month. We have a bonus episode, and we do other fun stuff. We have a Q&A. I think on the lowest tier, if you just donate $5 a month, you have access to the Q&A, and that's actually a video, so you could see our faces and us talking to each other and answering any kind of questions that you might have. It could literally be any fucking question, anything. It's an AMA situation.
You could ask me what I think about bleached buttholes.
Mm-hmm.
You could ask Erin what she thinks about hairless cats.
Oh my God, yeah. I have some new opinions now. I'm really excited. I learned more about them, and I have a lot more new opinions.
Me too. Thanks to Ginny, we found out they're clammy.
New thoughts and feelings. Yeah, so that's at the $5 level, and I think you can even donate less than that. You could donate $1 if you want to, but just saying the content levels open up at $5 and up. And there's at $10, you can have access to the bonus episode. And then there's a couple other levels above that have some other fun stuff that I I just can't remember off the top of my head because I'm an idiot. No, it's like fun stuff. Like we do like video commentary.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's really fun.
Google Hangouts.
Google Hangouts.
You could even have your own. You could even pick the topic of a sponsored episode.
Mm-hmm.
We've done one for Mackenzie. We still need to do one for my mom, who is a patron.
Oh, that's right.
Which I was thinking about yesterday, but we'll have to ask her what topic she wants. But yeah, it's fun. Check it out.
Yeah. Yeah, that's all the business, I think, up top.
Mm-hmm.
What else? Anything? Any other biz?
No, I don't think so.
What's your fucked up thing of the week?
Well, I was trying to think. I don't think I have one.
Well, you've been really busy, so, and traveling and stuff.
Yeah, I traveled up to Alaska to visit our 3-week-old godson, who's very cute, named Silas.
Aww,
and
I love that name.
He's so sweet, and he's just like a really cute baby. You know how some babies come out and they look like little old men or like kind of weird, you know?
Yeah.
No, he does not look like that at all. He's so cute, and he was just tiny, and I held him a lot.
Aww.
And he pooped a lot. He had a lot of little machine gun farts. I think it's fucked up. How does a baby who weighs he probably weighs 8 pounds, 9 pounds. He's tiny.
Mm-hmm.
How does a baby make the same loudness of a fart as an adult grown man?
I mean, they have those flabby butts in the beginning, so maybe that has something to do with it. I don't know. Like, they don't have a lot of muscle tone, so, like, I don't know. That's my theory. I don't know.
But, like, I'm just, like, they might even be, like, if it was, like, a naked fart, it might even be louder, but, like, it's wearing a diaper, so it's, like,
so you think
even
it'd be muffled?
And it's still literally everyone's head in the living room turned to look at the baby. Like, that's how loud of farts that this baby was having.
Well, at least, like, as an adult, you could be like, you blame all your farts on your kid, like, on your baby. You're like, I did not. It was my child. Like,
yeah.
I'm so sorry, everybody.
Well,
my baby farted.
I think the tell that it's an adult man's fart is the stink. Because the baby farts, you know, they just start eating milk. So they're like...
Yeah, and they don't have, like, their
it's not
poops
stinky.
And their farts don't stink yet.
Yeah, I mean, it's like a little, like, a sweetness. Or it's like a little... it's like, just, like, barely foul. But...
Yeah. It's not quite there yet. Yeah. It doesn't have that organic je ne sais quoi. That a human adult does. Yeah.
It doesn't have that human je ne sais buffalo wing. Je ne sais Doritos Munchie Mix. Or whatever garbage you're eating that makes you farty.
Yeah. Oh my God, dude.
What was your fucked up thing this week?
So there's so many things, but just the other day, it was like, I think like, I don't know, it was like some day in the middle of the week last week, we woke up at like 4:00 in the morning to just like a million sirens. We live like pretty close to a fire department, which is like great for safety, but like for noise, not so much. Actually, you just kind of tune it out after a while. But anyway, this was like over the top, like siren, like at least 4, like they emptied out their entire like firehouse of fire trucks. It sounded
Whoa.
like, yeah. So
that's what they call a 5 alarm.
Yeah, it was like either like a 4 alarm or like something. It was top tier alert.
Yeah,
happening.
DEFCON 5, 1.
Yeah,
whichever one's the big one.
Whatever the worst is. Yeah. So I woke. So eventually, like we go back to bed, and like when we woke up normal time in the morning, a couple hours later, I like checked Twitter to see like what was happening because like I was like, what the fuck happened? And a few blocks away from us, a townhouse caught on fire, and like every like townhouses, you know, they're like all connected, like to some degree. And I live in like a townhouse that's like there's 2 others that are like we're all connected to each other. We can't hear anything or anything like that. It's like, but it's like old. My house is 125 years old.
Oh my God.
brick house. So same situation of this house that caught on fire, but I guess what had happened was it was like a hoarder situation. And like I didn't read all the details. That's just like what the initial like finding was. And so something happened where it made it like caused like a fire hazard and caught that house on fire, and it caught other house, like the house connected to it, on fire. And I like saw pictures of it because it was so sad. I guess like the house next door was like housing like foreign exchange students that were going to like GW, I think. And so this poor kid had just arrived in America like a couple weeks ago and was like starting his semester, and then the house like next door to him burned down and burned his house down and fucked up his living situation. So crazy.
Was anyone injured or died?
I think so. I don't think anybody died, thank God. But I think there is like definite like major smoke inhalation, maybe some burns. Like it looked very bad.
Because
like the house was.
If you're in a hoarder house and it catches on fire, how you can't like escape very quickly because there's shit everywhere. Yeah, exactly. So I don't know. And like the firefighters, like they had to get it was like, you know, like a 3 or 4 story house. So they have to like go over the top and shoot the hoses down into the top. Because that's where it's like burnt. It's like becomes like a smokestack, you know? Yeah.
And so they have to get over it and like shoot water down into it to like help put out the fire. So like the pictures are like very dramatic, like from that, because people are starting to like wake up that early in the morning in DC, unfortunately, and like start commuting to work.
Yeah.
So there's like a lot of pictures of the aftermath and stuff.
Oh, like people, like citizen journalists.
Yeah. So that's the nice thing about having, you know, smartphones and stuff these days, is that you get all the pics and all the info. But it was just like, it was wild.
Did they find any just like feet?
Oh, like a spontaneous human combustion situation.
Yeah. Did they?
Not that I know of. What a throwback to our first
episode.
Our first episode, yeah. If you guys have listened all the way through up until this point, and you're like, or maybe this is your first time listening, you will either remember or be finding out for the first time that our first episode was about spontaneous human combustion.
Uh-huh.
And I think I might have picked the episode that topic because I loved it so much when I was a kid. Like the idea of just somebody just bursting into flames was terrifying.
And not affecting anything around them. Or barely affecting anything around them.
Yeah.
Which is like the weird thing.
That's the weird thing, yeah.
Yeah.
So I was always intrigued by that. So that's what we did our first episode on. And today, for today's anniversary episode, we are going to revisit the first episode and talk a little bit about it.
Yeah.
Just not just the topic, but like the whole shebang. Like,
what did we do wrong? That's what we're going to talk about.
We're very self-aware and we are very self-deprecating. So we are like, we're not gonna beat around the bush. We sucked. Yeah. No, it wasn't.
We're
that
not
bad,
gonna beat around the Billy Goat bush.
No. But well, and that's a real testament. If you have listened to the first episode and you didn't think it sucked that bad, then God bless. Thank you for sticking with us.
Should we say what the catalyst of this was?
Yes.
Okay. So we're like, oh, our anniversary episode, it should be like a really fun one. Like what would be like a really good topic to do? That's like a lot of pressure, I feel like.
It was really hard. We were really struggling. We're like, we have to like either do something like so fucking insane and crazy and terrible or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know. It was just like a lot of pressure.
Or, like, do we ask, it's like, oh, do we, like, crowdsource this one like I did for Erin's birthday episode? Like, but then that puts a lot of work on you guys, and I feel like this should be work for us, and a gift for all of you for listening, for a full year and 52 episodes, now 53 episodes. But luckily, all was saved when we got an iTunes review. So it's our most recent review on iTunes, and it's pretty funny. It's from February 7th, 2018. I don't want to say who posted it. You can go look at it, but I don't know if they would want us to or not. And I don't know who this person is because it's on iTunes. So the title of the review is So Funny, with like a cry laughy face with an exclamation mark. And then it says, if you're starting from the beginning, hang in there. They're noticeably uncomfortable the first few episodes, but it gets so good. I'm addicted. Been listening for a week, and on episode 20, 10 out of 10 would recommend. Now, this is a bit of a humble brag because the review ends up being very complimentary and very nice. But we thought it was really funny that they were like, hang in there.
Listen, I want the truth. I love the constructive criticism. Yeah. That is how are you going to get better if you don't know, you know what I mean? Like what I don't call them weaknesses. I call them opportunities. You got to reframe. And like what better way to really celebrate an entire year of doing this than looking back on our very first uncomfortable foray into this podcast.
I love it.
Yeah. So like, I just think, I like was writing down some of my thoughts about like, I have always been a person who just like, it's so hard to like start something that you've never done before. Even if you really want to do it because it's scary and you don't want to fuck up. And I'm the kind of person that I just like, I want to know how to do it before like I commit or whatever. Yeah. So, but then you get frozen and you don't actually do anything with your life and your dreams and your hopes and your wants. And then you just like get bogged down and you're like, well, fuck, I guess I'm never going to do that thing. So this is like truly one of the first things that I have ever like gone for and just did it. Yeah. And not caring if I like did it perfectly or well or whatever. Yeah. So I think that's like the first step in just like realizing, you know what? It's not going to be perfect, but you got to start somewhere. Yeah. I guess.
We recorded something for another podcast and we talked a little bit about this recently, and we'll share that with you guys I think when it's like going to be out. But right now, it's just like a side project, and we really talked about how like we didn't know what to expect, and we just kind of all of a sudden, I mean, like you had been thinking about it and had been like journaling about it and writing your thoughts down, and I wasn't thinking as much about it. But then when the idea entered my head, I like called you and it was like, oh yeah, let's do this. And then we just from there, like we just kind of figured it out pretty quickly in a matter of weeks, I feel like, and recorded an episode and posted it. Like it wasn't, it was.
And I think too, like have like my motto of my life is this is my motto. Okay. And it is truly gotten me through some really shitty times. Okay. The key to happiness is managing your expectations, period. Oh. About everything. Like, don't, like, and it's not to say, like, it's not to be taken cynically, like, but managing your expectations and, like, just not assuming the worst or not assuming the best. Like, you just do what you need to do to get through something. So, it really, like, you don't get really let down by anybody, because when you put expectations on other people, that's where things break down. Put those expectations on yourself and manage them, and then you can go forward. So I was like, listen, I know this is not going to be perfect, like I said. And I also was thinking in my brain, like, who's going to listen to this? Like, my mom? Like,
yeah.
And for
not
the first
even her.
Not even her. for the first few episodes, literally, we would just joke about how nobody, like, we only have like 2 listeners are moms. and then I found out that my mom like hadn't even listened to it, so that was cool. But you know, I didn't have that expectation. It was more like a joke. I was like, my mom maybe is, maybe isn't. It's a good joke. But then when I found out that she wasn't, I was not sad, you know? It was like, oh, c'est la vie.
Also, like, I feel like it's always important to think it's not for everyone. Like, it's fine if people listen and don't like it. Dude, it doesn't matter, because maybe there will be people that listen and do like it. So you just, that's like my motto is just be true to you and do what you think is funny and what you think is interesting.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's fun. It's all fun. It's a comedy podcast. And after, you know, I think I had mentioned this like long ago, like after listening to some other podcasts and seeing like some really mediocre male like comedians, I was like, oh, like I can just do this and it's fine. Like, no offense to any mediocre male comedians out there, but like, you know, like it's just like, why
try harder, okay? Yeah. Because why are you doing something you're mediocre at?
Well, you know, but that's not the point. The point is,
no.
The point is that and female, I mean, anybody mediocre, it doesn't matter. Like they're just going for it, and that's the first step. And if you're mediocre, which we to some people are mediocre, and that's fine. I'm not saying we're any better than anyone else, but all I'm saying is the thing that sets you apart is that you actually do it. Yeah. So that said,
and I am saying we are better than everyone else. And also I'm saying it's okay to be mediocre in the beginning. Like the review, it's a little, the first few episodes maybe aren't as toit as we'd like them to be. They're not, we weren't as comfortable. That's fair. Totally true. But you know what? We got better. And that's the point of this review.
Yes.
Stick with it.
They
get into it. And then they get better. And then that's what matters. And even my mom texted me this morning and said that she just caught up on the last 3 episodes. And she's like, I was laughing like a crazy lady. So if people
and my mom does listen now, by the way. Your mom
does listen now. Yeah. But I just feel like, I don't know. We stuck with it. It's important to do it. Like the first step is to do it. And then you learn and you get better. And you keep doing it.
Yeah. So if you got something on the back burner that you're like, I just don't know, just try it.
Yeah. Who cares? If you fail, it's not a big deal.
Yeah.
People fail every day.
Yeah. And like super hard, like where their entire world is shattered. Like don't shatter your life.
Keep that in mind when you start starting yours.
No, I mean, this is a very easy thing to do.
Yeah.
Like in terms of like the cost analysis of everything in life is, but you know.
Yeah.
But still, like go for it.
Yeah.
Start small, start simple, and work your way up. So that's my advice, I guess.
I love it.
But back to the first episode. That was
your laugh just now was like
So okay, the first episode, we some findings. I went back and listened. It'd been several. It's always hard. I have to listen to each episode over and over to like edit. And send you edits.
Yeah.
I think I'd listened to the first episode when we first started doing everything like over and over again.
Yeah, like 4 or 5 times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But now I only need to listen like, you know, once and then go back through like different portions just to make sure I didn't miss anything.
Yeah.
And it's good. Like as far as editing goes. So, but this, I hadn't listened to the first episode in a long time. And so I went back in and I was like fully expecting, you know, it to be
real rough,
complete shit. But it wasn't.
I was dreading it.
I know you were like, I don't want to listen. It's like so cringy, and there's definitely aspects of it that I'm like, God damn it, what the fuck? Like, why didn't we do this or that, whatever? But when all is said and done, it was not that bad. The fear that you have of like feeling cringy about yourself is not as bad as, I don't know, it could have been. So some findings from going back in for another listen a year ago. Yeah. Is the first thing that I noticed is that we did not even introduce ourselves. Like at all. Like we just jump right in. We just start talking about the topic. We didn't shoot the shit hardly. We definitely didn't like do any kind of like casual banter. We just jumped right into talking about.
We didn't even say our names, right? Or did we?
Did we not? I think we did. Welcome into Dude That's Fucked Up. My name is Erin.
I'm Nicole.
And we're going to talk about weird stuff that we think is gross and cool and weird.
Like stuff we really want to talk about that maybe like other people either don't like want to talk about in public or really want to talk about at all because it's gross or weird or just fucked up like the name of this podcast would suggest.
Yeah, I mean it's pretty self-explanatory. Yeah. But we didn't say anything about ourselves. Like, why would you want to listen to something that you're like, who the fuck are these bitches? Like, I don't know.
Oh, true.
But I think that was because we were so nervous and we had like our notes in front of us and we were just like rolling through. The second thing that I noticed was that the pace was pretty slow.
Yeah.
Like you can tell that I'm obviously reading the notes and I'm like afraid to go off script a little bit. So, and then like the next thing that I was noticing is that it's stiff and the energy is low. Like,
yeah.
But like it's all nerves. It was like, and we just had no idea. We didn't know what we were doing. We knew sort of what we were doing, but not, I guess. And I mean, do you want to interject with any cases or anything? And then maybe we could start on scientific explanations, or should I just like plow through here?
A part of that is because of how we approached the podcast at first, which was we were kind of going to split the research in half, which for that episode we did, but we quickly found out as we got further on in topics that wasn't going to work out. So we started to work out of the same document with the same notes, which is why it's so fluid.
Yeah. Now. Yeah, the way we used to do it was we each just like took our own notes, like did separate research. I mean, we do separate research, but like if there's like a really good article, like I'll be like, oh, dude, totally read this so we can like talk about it or whatever. So yeah, that was like the format from the first episode or two maybe was like us kind of with separate documents. So now we like use the same master document and we fill in our notes. So that's and then the last thing I guess was that and the most important thing was there was a lot of missed opportunities for jokes.
Yeah.
We made some good ones, but
well, and I think that's from like just wanting to stick to the notes. Like and I think that's what we learned in episode 2, I think. Oh, and especially in
the Juggalo episode.
The Juggalo episode and the birth control episode, which I think is where we got the most off track, like talking about onions and stuff. Onions. And we were just like laughing. And then when we listened back to edit it, we're like, oh, these things are funny when we kind of just like shoot the shit or like make jokes and riff and stuff. And so we're like, oh, we should do that more. Yeah. So then we started incorporating it or like allowing ourselves. It's more just we allowed ourselves to not just be like, okay, well, we need to get back to this. Because really, it's entertainment. We're not.
And that's hard to do because we're both pretty like, I think we follow like
rules.
Like rules. Yeah. And when you make rules for yourself, it's like you are making the rule for a reason, and then you like have to think about why I don't know. So like thinking a little bit too hard, I think about some of the stuff was slowing us down. So we figured that out pretty quickly. But all those things were the initial findings. And then other than that, I think it was fine. It was not the best, but it was the first episode. And what do you want, you know?
Yeah.
This is not an NPR production. This is
two girls figuring out, two women, two ladies figuring out.
Stumbling through the process of making a podcast.
Totes.
And then, so I guess like what we can do better, like if we were to redo this episode, which we're not going to do, but I would first right off the bat is give a intro of ourselves.
Yeah.
So like, I don't know, like if we were to like go back and like reintroduce ourselves.
Yeah.
What would be some things that you would say about yourself?
Well, the basics. My life's also very different. So, like, I guess
than it was a year ago. Yeah.
A year ago that I didn't realize that this would be such a catalyst to like actually pursuing my passions, which go well beyond podcasting into the realm of comedy. So if this were today, I would say, oh, I'm Nicole. I still live in Long Beach, California, which is outside of Los Angeles. I freelance in advertising 2 days a week because I quit my job, but then I had to go back because I needed money. But but today I am a comedian. I am a writer. I am an actor sometimes.
An actor, yes.
So I'm a producer as of last weekend. So
well, you've been a producer of this podcast for a while.
True.
So.
Oh, yes. Okay. I'm a video producer as of last weekend. But yeah, it's so different. I don't know. I don't even know how I would introduce myself, I guess. But
yeah,
those are kind of some things. How would you have introduced yourself then and now?
Okay. My name is Erin. I live in Washington, D.C., walking distance to the nation's Capitol building. I am a Scorpio. I am originally from California. I'm like a 7th or 8th generation Californian. Like my family is on my mom's side through her father are Mexican and have been there since like before it was a state. That's a fun fact. I have 2 cats. One's name is Buddha and one's name is Milky. Buddha is 17 years old. Milky is like 6, I think. And I have an Instagram for them because I'm that much of a millennial. And you can follow that. I don't know what it is off the top of my head. I think it's like something Buddha Milky. I don't know. I have 3 Instagram accounts. It's just called Buddha _and_ Milky.
Done.
I'm married. I have a husband. His name is DJ. He's cool. And yeah. Oh, if it was like last year, I would have just said, we like to travel all the time and our life is cool. But now if it was today, I would say all those other things stand, but also I'm pregnant, so I can't drink anymore, but I like to do that when I'm not pregnant. And I probably won't be able to travel for a long time. So
yeah.
I'm going to cram it all in.
Oh, wow. Yeah,
but
much.
That's it. Yeah. So yeah, that and then our as it pertains to our friendship.
Yeah.
Nicole and I have been friends since 7th grade, or 8th grade. I mean.
Yeah.
And that was like 20 years ago, literally.
Oh my God.
So we've been friends for like 20 years. We both have brothers that are like the same age. We're like all like
close.
In the same. Yeah, close in age.
They're younger brothers.
Yeah, younger brothers. My brother's 32 now.
Oh, my brother's turning 30 this year.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's right. He's a little bit older.
Yeah.
And then, my brother and my husband are 2 days apart. So I married a younger man.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Pete's younger than you too,
Pete's
right?
younger, yeah. By 3 years.
Yeah. DJ's 2.5 years younger than me. those are like all like our fun tidbits, I think, that maybe people didn't know before.
That
we never dropped on anybody, which we should have in the beginning.
I know. Yeah, we've been friends for a long time, and we've done like cross country road trips together. We have gone to Las Vegas a lot together. Yep. We've gone to Hawaii. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we have. I mean,
we've gone to Mexico together.
We've gone to Mexico multiple times together, where we could not flush the toilet paper with our poops, and we had to put the toilet paper after we wiped our butts into like a little garbage can next to the toilet. I hated it so much.
It smelled.
It was the.
It was not the best, but it was so fun.
Yeah, it was really fun. I was drunk most of the time anyway.
Well, the reason the poops were so bad is because everybody was drinking.
Yeah, like all we were drinking is like tequila and beer, and like all we were eating was quesadillas
and tacos. Yeah. Remember you ate that the display beans
and rice.
I think we've talked about that on an episode before.
I think so.
Yeah, we've done so much together in our 20-year friendship.
So many fun stories. We haven't even like skimmed the surface, I feel like, on this podcast.
Oh God, I talked about somersaulting into beef stir fry, which was in Hawaii. It's a classic.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah. There's been so many fun things. We've done so many fun things. Our cross-country trip was a good one.
Oh, it was so fun.
Yeah, it was great. We like really skimmed a lot of the Midwest. The route that we took was not exciting. Like, no offense to the Midwest. Like, I love the Midwest, but like the parts that we went through were not like sightseeing. There was nothing to see.
My favorite part was when we ate at the Waffle House in Toledo, Ohio, and then we were just like, that wasn't my favorite part, but the only way I could remember that was because we were like, holy Toledo.
Yeah. Oh, and another thing, it was like before like smartphones, really.
Yeah.
So we had the first night we stopped at a Hampton Inn, and we like got the Hampton Inn guidebook, which like tells you all of the locations of the Hampton Inn. And I had gone to AAA and got like maps that we were going to go through on the routes that was like what we had to do.
Oh my God.
And so anytime we were like passing by Hampton Inn, I'd have to like find it on the map, like call the hotel to see if there was availability. Like, it was analog as fuck. It was great. And I like, this is how we know how to do things. Like,
we're like in that perfect sweet spot of like, millennialdom. Like, we're very technologically advanced. We know how to use smartphones, but also we were the last kind of generation of not having a smartphone.
Paper maps.
We were the last generation of paper maps.
Poor AAA, man. They don't have people come. I mean, maybe they do.
Dude, no, AAA is the fucking shit now, because you can go do DMV stuff there and there's no line. Can? Yeah.
Like renew your license and stuff?
Renew your license, your registration, whatever. I went in there and renewed our registration. It took me like 2 minutes. It was so pleasant.
That's nice. Yeah. Good to know. Yeah. Oh, I don't have a car anymore, so none of this applies to me.
Yeah, true.
But that's another thing about me. I don't have a car. It's pretty tight. I use public transportation and my own 2 feet. and bikes. So that's fun. So that's all the stuff about ourselves that we never talked about in the first episode. That was probably would have given some better context to why we were starting the podcast, I guess.
Yeah.
But I think we ended up explaining it a few episodes later, but still.
As we've moved along, yeah.
Yeah. So, okay, and then also, like, we could have riffed on so many things. There was a lot of missed opportunities for jokes. We did eventually, like, towards, like, the end, we kind of warmed up a little bit, or, like, the middle end, we warmed up a little bit. And we could have talked about so many more things that related to spontaneous human combustion, like how alcohol was always a part of it.
Which we made like the comment a few times, but I think we didn't recognize like, oh, this is a part where we can maybe joke about how wasted everyone was, like.
Yeah.
But we did say there was funny stuff, I thought, like, because it's like, oh, that time, like, living in medieval times is like so fucking awful. Of course everyone's drunk all the time.
Yeah.
So that was fun.
Even just Victorian era, like it was all
Victorian
bad.
Era. Yeah.
Which says a lot about the Victorian era. Everyone was just fucking swimming in gin all day long because it sucked. It was really rough. People needed to tune the life the fuck out, especially women, especially elderly women. And they like probably weren't even that elderly. Like they're probably like 50
40.
years old. And
Yeah.
they're just like, they're like, fuck. Well, time to grab a bottle of gin and
a cigarette.
Maybe light myself on fire. Because anything's better than everything that I have going on. Anyway. Up until modern day, man, it was just, and it really started to plant the seed of, thank God we live now.
Oh, right, yeah.
Which has always been a running theme through like a lot of our commentary in our episodes, especially if it has to do with things in the past, like
the olden days.
Yeah. Yeah, but we could have made a lot more jokes. All my see, I can't even pronounce mispronunciation. My mispronunciations were so bad. There is a record.
You fancy.
There's a record of Vorstius. Vorstius? I have no idea.
Is that a person?
Yeah, Vorstius. And then in 1673, a Frenchman named Jonas Dupont published a collection of spontaneous combustion cases in his work, quote, De Incendis Corpus Humani Spontaneis. I don't know. Spontaneous. Maybe that's it.
Oh, good.
I don't know. I don't speak Latin, guys. It was just like, shut the fuck up. You know?
It's because we were like trying so hard, I feel like.
I know. And I could have left out a bunch of like the historical background. It was just like too boring. It just, it could have been way better. There's a lot of stuff. So, but what we did well, what we got right, I think is like we did end up riffing on some other stuff. Can you imagine just like walking in and being like, oh shit, like Bertha fucking, she's wasted all the time and she's a gross lady who just fucking hangs out in the alley and now she's burned up and all that's left of her gross feet.
What? I mean, Allie Bertha burned up? I can't believe it. Extra.
Like, R.I.P. Bertha, but like that was not why. I think the next thing to do is just to clarify and revisit and make some corrections, maybe. Mm-hmm. I totally confused J. Edgar Hoover and Jimmy Hoffa. This is so weird. Why would you do that?
Okay, but the police chief sent it to J. Edgar Hoover, who was in charge of the FBI at the time, with a note asking for help. Like, please, can you help us solve this cause of death? Like, what's the FBI?
Meanwhile, J. Edgar Hoover is putting on women's rayon clothing of his own. And maybe he burned up. Maybe that's why nobody found him.
Wait, so J. Edgar Hoover didn't dress in drag?
Yes, he did. But Jimmy Hoffa is the one that went missing.
They
never found his body. So I confused those two things. And I was saying that about how J. Edgar Hoover was missing or something.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And then let's see. You didn't fuck up. It was mostly me.
Oh. No, I don't know that I fucked up. I didn't revisit.
Oh.
I didn't look at details of what I said or anything. But
I think everything that you said was spot on.
Fine.
I mean, you were just reiterating instances of it happening.
Yeah, that was my role in the first episode.
Mm-hmm. So I talked about ball lightning and how I thought it was maybe not real, but it's totally real. It's like a real like natural phenomenon, but
yeah, but you said I don't know if it's but you like had a caveat.
Like ball lightning is another silly thing that is just something that people want to be real. I think it could exist. I don't know.
What is it?
I don't know.
I don't even know what that is.
Ball lightning is like lightning that's a ball.
Oh.
Like, no, I think that we can do we can maybe do a future episode on it. But I think it's just like it's one of those things where it's like it like shoots out of the sky and like it could fucking light stuff on fire. I don't know. I should have gone down this rabbit hole, but I didn't. Right, but this is to clarify.
Okay.
It's a real thing, and researchers at a university in China have proposed that the bright glow of ball lightning is created when microwaves become trapped inside a plasma bubble.
Oh, so I don't know what that means.
I don't either, but that's cool. It's real.
Is it like one of those things? Does ball lightning look like, those things from like the 80s or early 90s? It's like static electricity and you touch it and it all is it like that?
I think so. I think it's like similar to that, but like instead of like it's contained with like pure energy of plasma that's created. I don't know, somehow. I don't know anything about anything that I'm saying, but I think it's like it's contained in this like ball kind of form, and it could be like purpley or blue or whatever. So
this is podcast science.
Yeah. Bus driver science, podcast science, all kind of the same thing. But we will admit that we're not self-proclaimed experts by any means.
No, on anything.
Okay, another theory. This is silly. Comes from a self-proclaimed expert on SHC. Like when you're a self-proclaimed expert on anything, like that means you're just like you're just making shit up. Yeah. So this random ass dude named Larry Arnold. Sorry if this is somebody's dad. This dude's just making shit up.
Is this the same guy that wrote the book Ablaze?
Maybe.
Because
I don't know.
I read about a guy who, wrote a book about this topic, and when it went a little bit further, it's like, oh yeah, like self-proclaimed. It also said that he was a school bus driver. So he's not a scientist or anything.
He's a hobbyist.
Yeah.
He's like
self-proclaimed.
Like we are right now.
Yeah. I can read the internet too.
Yeah. Well, that's all the science really that I could find, and most of that is not science.
True. I'm glad you made that caveat.
Most of that is bus driver science. And then I had talked about farts reabsorbing into your lungs, and I was like, oh shit, was that real? Did I research that properly? And you actually can. Like your body can reabsorb a fart into your lungs and into your into the rest of your body, and it can make your breath smell bad. Like that's so fucking stupid, because like if you're holding in every single fart, like to build up that much methane, like that's just not how your body works. Like your sphincter will betray you. You're going to fart in your sleep. Like it's going to get out, like it's going to exit your body somehow. It's not just going to like build up to the point where you're like, well, I'm going to explode now. Like that's not how your body works. Also, we can have another whole episode on farts.
We will.
I just dipped my toe in trying to see like, oh, do humans even really produce methane? I didn't realize that. I thought it was like cows were more. So yeah, cows produce methane. Some humans do produce methane, but like not enough to do
just
that.
Some humans?
Like, yeah, I think like 1/3 of the population or something. I forgot to write.
Don't you want to know if you're one of them? Is there like a litmus test?
like a 23andMe, like instead of like spitting into a tube, you fart into a tube.
you said it.
And they're like, oh yes, you are one of the rare methane producers.
Oh God.
Also, like a thing that happens too is like your gas reabsorbs back into your intestines and into your bloodstream. And this is the thing. So everybody be healthy and just let it out, because it can absorb back into your lungs, the gas, and make your fucking breath smell like farts.
Okay, how long does this process take? Because
I think it takes a long time. I think it's like a long process. But or maybe your metabolism's weird or different. I don't know.
Okay, are you sure? Because I feel like on my flight up to Alaska, I held in all my farts. I don't fart on planes because I'm not rude. And I know people have to, but, like, get up and go to the bathroom then. But, like, don't make me smell your rank-ass farts. Anyway, Pete was like, oh, did you fart? And I was like, no, I'm holding them in. He's like, well, your breath stinks. Like farts. So,
I think it is.
In the course of, it's like a 12-hour, day of travel, I guess for me, I metabolized my farts back into my breath.
I think you did.
Within 12 hours.
Well, so as I was like looking and I was researching it a little deeper to make sure that I didn't just like make this shit up.
Yeah.
Or like I like read one article and thought it was funny and thought I should include it. I found multiple articles about it that are like from science journals, and you can actually, this actually happens. But then as I was like looking and like trying to find articles, I stumbled upon this very precious question that someone asked on Reddit. And the question is, quote, if you fart, is it possible to sniff up all the odor so nobody else has to smell it?
Like you don't want other people to know you farted, so you fart so you and just like vacuum it up with your nostrils real quick.
And so I just thought that was the funniest concept ever.
Oh
like,
my God.
The way other people's brains work is just...
Wait, can you?
No, absolutely not.
I just don't know, like, logistically how that could be. Because your butthole and your face are in different directions, first of all.
Like, do you put your head down by your butthole? Or, like, do you get up and, like... and move your face down to where you just farted and try to... people would notice that you're doing that. First of all, they'd be like, why is this fucking person just being like so extra with their smelling right now? Like, what is happening? And that was it. It'd be just like, just go excuse yourself, get up from the table, go to the bathroom and on the airplane and go toot it out. Just toot it out. Don't crop dust people.
I'm like on the verge of gagging.
Don't throw up. It's just a fart. You're the one that metabolized your fart into your lungs.
Not
and made your
from
breath
my
smell.
asshole into my mouth.
Because that's not real. That's not real. It's not a real thing.
Oh, but it's just making me think like of someone in a really like tight yoga position, like farting into their own mouth. Why?
I don't know. People's
don't.
brains just function differently, and
but you know okay. Someone's done that. Like like that's like
if
a party
this person
trick.
had to ask it on Reddit,
then someone's done it.
Yeah, it's like a thought that's crossed somebody's mind. So anyway, yeah, I thought that was funny.
Oh my God.
And then, the thing, I guess we can revisit this really quickly. Is just talking about the wick effect again. Because it's so gross. Like how your body becomes a human candle. Yeah. Like all the fat that is in your body naturally becomes fuel for a fire. And that's why people burn so hot. Like once they like get lit on fire or whatever. Or quote unquote spontaneously human combust. Yeah. Or just fall asleep with a cigarette in their hand or whatever the fuck. and their super flammable clothing, which we talked a lot about.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I still don't understand how like
it's gross.
Yeah, it's gross. I still don't understand how like no one has solved this, like not indefinitely. What's the word I'm looking for? Like
conclusively.
Yeah, conclusively. Like how has this not been solved? Because it's still like
it's not a thing that needs to be solved. It's just the thermodynamics of like of a fire like just a fuel source that burns very hot and quickly won't necessarily always like catch the rest of the house on fire.
Yeah. I guess it's just weird. It's just weird to me because there's like, I don't know. It just still doesn't really make that much sense to me because people wouldn't burn that hot and not catch. I mean, you'd have to have a real high fat content, I guess.
Yeah, I
don't know. But
I don't know.
It's interesting.
It is interesting. It's crazy. But yeah, that's a weird thing. I don't have much more to say about the wick effect except that it's like super gross.
Yeah.
That your body like becomes its own like an actual fuel source and it becomes like you become like a human candle.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Ew.
Yuck.
It's gross. I don't know. I'm just remembering all the photos that I saw when we did the research a year ago for it.
I know.
And they were so disturbing.
I know. I wasn't prepared for just the feet.
No.
I said before in the first episode, that was just like a way more disturbing than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah. I'm not disturbed enough that I'm not going to finish eating my apple that I'm eating though.
Oh, if you guys couldn't tell, Nicole's been eating the whole time.
Could people tell, do you think?
Oh, you could totally hear it.
You can?
Yeah.
Oh, shit. Whoops. Sorry.
It's okay. I'm
hungry. I'll try and cut some of it out.
So yeah, that's all. I think that's all that I really thought needed to be revisited or just talked about the first episode. Like I said, it's awkward, but we needed to start somewhere, and I'm glad we did. I'm glad we went for it because this has been so much fun.
So much fun. I feel like it was such a good topic to start with because there was like kind of sad parts because people died, obviously, but I think it's really hard talking about things where people have like psychological disorders or people die or whatever, people are ill. I think we've kind of talked about some topics where we're not sure how to like treat it because on the one hand we want to be funny and make jokes, but on the other hand we want to be respectful. But I felt like this was a good topic to start on because we were able to make jokes pretty easily. Some are not that easy. We've had episodes that we've had to re-record because we feel like there wasn't a lot of way to like draw a lot of humor out of the topic, or like we didn't approached it.
We didn't approach it from the right angle, and we like needed to reframe the way we were talking about it, or something. Yeah,
and we don't figure that out until, or at least we didn't. Kind of in the beginning, we didn't figure that out until we were in it, and then we're like, oh no, like we stopped recording, and then we're like, that got awkward. Yeah, and then we have to just think about it a little bit more. But I think that hasn't happened in a while because I think when we pick a topic that maybe it does have a little bit of more of a serious kind of angle to it, we think about how we're going to approach it first.
Yeah, we brainstorm a lot like about what we're going to do.
Yeah.
And we have to be really thoughtful about what we're doing. We can't just like, I don't know, just throw shit out there and like hope that it is funny or whatever. Like we really do try to think about it and try to be mindful as much as we can be while still like making silly, stupid jokes. And I mean, if we've ever said anything that hasn't been like 100% great, then apologies now. But also like we try our best and we always say we're still learning. So I don't know. None of it is ever like malicious or mean when we do try to like joke about stuff. So and there's been times like you said we've like had to like stop and re-record and think better and do better about whatever we're doing. So
just think differently. Like think of it from like a comedic standpoint or something. Looking now towards the future, what are some episodes that you think we could record that we've maybe mentioned or Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
In the first episode, we're like, we should do a whole episode on farts, which we haven't done yet, which blows my mind.
I know.
So I think people could expect that.
Is there enough content for that, though? I don't know. Maybe.
What? For an episode on farts? I think so.
Okay.
Maybe not. I don't know. Maybe it'll be a bonus episode on the Patreon. Ooh, good.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, what do you think?
I know that's besides farts.
Yeah.
Well, we've talked a lot, and I know we've mentioned it, but now that you're going through it, I think we'll do some fun ones on, like, what happens to a pregnant body or what happens during childbirth or some stuff like that.
Yeah, I never felt like 100% comfortable doing that because it's like, unless you, like, are experiencing it or have, I don't know, like...
Oh, but some of it's medical, too.
It's all medical, but still, having a perspective about it is, it makes it a more well-rounded episode, I think.
Okay, so we know we're going to do some, like, future episodes on some weird shit.
Always.
And there's going to be farts and poop in it. If there's one thing I know...
I can't predict the future, but
if I could,
let me just tell you.
Yeah. What else do we want to accomplish this year? I don't think we even set out goals when we created this podcast. It was just kind of like, let's just start doing it. And then the first goal we had was like to be consistent with releasing an episode one every week on Wednesdays, which we did.
And we've been totally able to pull that off somehow, despite like travel and sickness and
tech
conflicting schedules. Yeah, and we live on different coasts, like so like there's a lot of like barriers sometimes, but we have always figured it out. So I'm proud of us for that.
Yeah, me too. We did a meetup this year. I think we'll do another one soon on the East Coast.
Yeah.
Because Erin came to visit me, but I haven't been to visit her yet, so we'll do that. What else? Is there anything you want to accomplish?
I'd like to branch out with merch eventually, like maybe get some more different types of merch in the store.
Like a tote?
Like a tote or like a coffee mug, something like that.
Ooh, mug, yeah.
Like something functional, you know?
Love it.
Not necessarily like a wearable per se. That's like the next kind of thing I want to do. And then just like consistently have a growing community, I think is my view of the future of the podcast. And, you know, whatever that means, if it means like growing the community in terms of like, you know, engagement, like getting people to like engage with us like on different platforms, not just like the Facebook group. I don't know. Like I'd really love to, I don't know, just get more people in our little dude squad.
Bubble. Yeah.
Dude bubble. Yeah, and I actually just recently got invited to like speak on a panel, so that's like exciting. I wish you were here to do that with me, but it's like kind of hard to, you know.
Yeah.
It's like it was just got invited, so
yeah, just do it.
So yeah, those are the next things, and yeah.
I would like to say, like, as we kind of like, well, we just want to like talk about our listeners and stuff. I guess, like, obviously, thank you for listening and hanging out with us every week. I recently was super pleasantly surprised. We had someone who's an expert in our Facebook group on like a certain topic offer to answer questions that people had related to like a recent episode. And it could have been something that people were, I don't know. I was just like on edge. I was like, oh man, are we going to have to like police this kind of thread? Are people going to be like are people going to ask questions that are inappropriate? Just normal things that you see in social media.
Sure.
Of course. Like, you know, someone could bring up something and it's like disrespectful, whatever. People were so cool. I was just like really proud of the Facebook group. And obviously we screen it before we let people in. We make sure that people actually listen to the podcast and aren't going to be just like shitheads. But I'm just like really grateful that everyone that listens is respectful of each other, especially in the closed group, because it has been just like a really fun place to share things and chat. And
loving the community that we're building. Like, I think that's my favorite thing about this.
Also, I think it's better than all the other communities, but I'm biased.
You're biased for sure. So just thank you to everybody always for sticking with us and being fun and like easygoing and chill and I don't know. It's been really lovely.
If you haven't left a review yet, we'd totally love one. No pressure. But if you want to, that'd be awesome. Definitely share with a friend. If you don't have a t-shirt yet, maybe you want to get one. If you do have a t-shirt, definitely wear it to all your high profile events.
Even if it's black tie,
even if it's
maybe wear it underneath. I'm just kidding.
Especially if you're a lady, wear it underneath your off the shoulder dress or whatever.
Your ball gown,
under your ball gown. Maybe use it as a wrap on your head. Work it into as a scarf. Get creative. And then also, I guess we just want to thank all of our listeners. But also specifically our patrons. We started our Patreon in October? October?
October, yeah.
And it's been able to, it's allowed us to do a lot of things that we weren't able to do before. So like we did start our merch. We just switched. This does not affect anything or anyone, but we switched kind of our like back end platform, like our hosting platform. And like that's, you guys are helping us do that and kind of like upgrading our analytics and all these things. We've done a little bit of advertising, which has been pretty cool. And will hopefully help us grow our community as well.
We haven't had to, we haven't run any ads yet. We'd love to, like on our own podcast, but like, you're saying like advertising our podcast to the broader audiences. Yeah. But we don't have any ads on our podcast.
We have one. We had one.
We have one. Yeah, we had one. But like we're able to do like the little things like merch and stuff like that because of our patrons. So we just really appreciate you guys so much. It helps us do all these little things and it's really great. And in the future we want to, I can't even grasp what else we could do because like it would open up endless possibilities if, we kept going. So I don't know. So thank you guys for everything.
Should we thank everyone by their first names?
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay. These are our patrons, and we just want to thank them, and we're going to read their names aloud. So thank you to Natalie, Mackenzie, Jackie,
Katie, Capella, Madura, Christopher,
Sandra, Sam, Ashley,
Brendan, Laura, Stanley,
Jenny, Michelle, Jeremy,
Kel, Joanne, Coral,
Quincy, and Margaret,
Flavia, and Matthew.
Yay!
Thank you guys so much. You've made a lot of really cool things possible for us and the pod.
Oh, wait. There's two more. Shit.
Oh.
Also, Tara and Cassandra.
Yay.
Yay!
Thank you guys.
Hopefully. Oh, and Elizabeth. Jeez, sorry, everyone.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my God. So sorry. But thank you.
Thank you guys so much. It's been a fun ride. It's been a year. And I can't believe it. We did it.
Oh, what a wild ride.
So fun. Awesome. Well, that's all I got.
Yeah. Same.
If you want to check out any of the stuff, all of it can be found on our website, dtfupodcast.com. You can find links to any way you want to listen to the podcast. There's multiple ways to listen. iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, SoundCloud, Podbean. Like there's a million different podcatchers.
Overcast.
All the podcasters podcatchers, not podcasters. Podcatchers pull in the RSS feed that we have, so you can find us on all the things. And then and you could find like links on the main page to our Patreon. You can find our shop at the top of the page. So we got all the stuff there. And follow us on social medias at DTFU Podcast, everywhere. Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. And
Cool.
All right. That's it.
Bye, everyone.
Bye. Be excellent to each other.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. I hope people are listening to this and aren't squeamish, because, I mean, you probably would have turned it off by now, but because we were talking about farts for a while.
That'll happen probably in 99% of these episodes. So.
Yes. Sorry.